we'll move on to our next session that I'm really excited for, and actually our last session of Gather this year, which is wild to think about. So this next session is with our NTUTOR GenAI champions, and they're going to talk us through a few of the technologies that they've found useful and kind of tell us how to use them and what they look like. We'll get them pulled up. We might introduce you to Rebecca first, who is kind of the chair of this group. Hey, Rebecca, how's it going?
Great, fantastic. Where are my champions? Hi, Anya.
They're coming. They'll
They're
magically
coming.
appear on the screen. Yeah.
Oh, great, fantastic. That's great. And John's there. Good, good. Great. Well, actually, to kick it off, I did a little assistive technology thingy myself. If you don't mind, I'll just share my screen real quick. And let's see if I can get this on. Yeah. Okay. Are you guys seeing that?
Yep. Yeah. Looks good.
Cool. Okay. Let's see if we can hear it.
36 different student champions from 7 HEIs across
Are you hearing it? Oh, great.
the Republic of Ireland have been experimenting with LLMs and research tools to create images, prompts, learning schedules, personalized tutors, text, data analysis, and videos over the last 3 months. Here is a quick overview of their different tasks and current findings.
We've met twice a month as a full team with weekly drop-in sessions. Each meeting tends to feature a new tool, updates, or special guests. Over the past few months, the champions have embarked upon 6 tasks. Their first was to come to grips with prompt engineering. We then went on to creating personalized study plans in task 2 and create a personalized tutor in ChatGPT through task 3. Then task 4 was unveiled. This task is a research project which can be collaborative with other members of the team. Task 5 was an image based on one of 3 prompts. And the last task, task 6, as the culmination of the champions' experience and a chance to reflect, create, and share all they have learned.
So today, the champions are going to take you through some of the tools they've been using over the tasks. The reviews and use cases are from the team, and please feel free to ask questions at the end of the session. Up first will be John and Orla with an overview of consensus, followed by Anya with a candid review of Gamma. Jana, Sophie, Matthew, and Patrick will cover ChatGPT. And finally, Sakra will take us through Descript. We hope you enjoy. Over to you, champions.
Okay, so that's a tool called Synthesia, which some of you may be familiar with, that we've just started working with a little bit. That's the free version. You can there's paid versions as well, but we tried to we look at the free versions first with this process so that it's accessible to everyone. So as Alex there said, I think we're going to kick off with consensus, which is John and Orla. And I think, John, you have a presentation you want to share?
Yeah, I have a presentation, so I do. I'll meet up.
Brilliant.
Me and Orla made it, so I did. So
just a little bit about consensus, what it is. You want to just kick that off first? Tell us what it is, and how we came across it, what we can use it for, and then go into your details.
don't mind. I might do an introduction just to explain who I am first. So would that be okay? And then I'll go into
No,
consensus.
John, no, I'm sorry.
No, that's not it. Okay. Sorry.
Please.
I'm from the script. Sorry, we'll see how it goes. There we go. There we go. So that's my name is John McKeown. I have an undergraduate degree in civil engineering. That's my background, but I'm currently studying for an MPhil in the School of Surveying and Construction and Innovation at TU Dublin. My current research it focuses on transport engineering, and I'm using machine learning to predict traffic flow. This involves converting roads networks into network topology. I hope then to use that topology to conduct traffic analysis. Uh, in my church, there's a traditional. It's tied to the traditional approaches of an MPhil. So I have to produce a thesis and a viva to get my degree, and for that, I've done a traditional literature review before doing discovering AI and consensus. But when I did start using consensus, my approach completely changed, and I was able to expand the literature review into more diverse topics and improve the different aspects of my thesis. But I'll hand it over to Orla now.
Hi, I'm Orla, and I'm a first year nursing student specialising in intellectual disabilities. I chose ATU Donegal to further my education in a field of practice that I have many years of experience working in. I'm excited to be part of the team here today to showcase how we have been working to include AI into our studies. Today, we're going to dive into consensus. John?
Yeah, well, Consensus is an AI assisted knowledge search engine. So it is a state of the art approach to conducting research. It leverages artificial intelligence using large language models and machine learning. It's now possible to synthesize scientific data into a useful format, and it's available to researchers. This should be a game changer, as it allows students and researchers to accelerate their ability to take on information, and it helps organize their research into a cohesive manner. Uh, Consensus then has a similar interface to other search engines such as Google or Yahoo. You have to type a prompt and then you get results. Where Consensus differs is that it searches over scientific papers and then it produces the most relevant search terms based on the initial prompt. Uh, Consensus also has a collaborative research element. It enables teams of researchers to work together on the respective research projects using consensus. This is a very valuable resource as it enables different individuals to add their own personal contributions to the project while also allowing the most valuable contributions to be shared within the team. The AI behind consensus is very powerful. It intuitively finds the most relevant data to the input prompt and produces relevant results. The database behind the AI contains millions of papers and that have been read by the AI and assigned tokens highlighting the relative importance. The AI then is able to take these tokens and select the relative papers to represent the relevant search. Is also constantly refining this process and improving the algorithm behind the consensus search function. Then, when consensus is when conducting research on consensus, it is not similar to other search engines and tools. The interface is seamless and extremely user friendly. The friendly user interface allows for rapid flow of information. One difficulty I found is that the pace of intake can cause you to forget where you got to how you got to where you are there. I take regular notes now, using consensus just to keep track. It's also helpful consensus familiarize you with new topics. When dealing with something unfamiliar, consensus has an intuitive way of finding the most relative information and representing it easily and understandable fashion. Yeah, there are many challenges to consensus. It is a state of the art technology, but it does have serious challenges. Accuracy is still an issue. As the search is based on AI and machine learning, it uses processes of critical thought to find accuracy. This process can rival human-based alternatives. However, it is not perfect. Errors can creep into the results the more obscure you get in your search. This is probably due to a small amount of sources available to the algorithm. Again, when you're searching for obscure topics, you can be met with a lack of results on the page. This can be especially frustrating when you're conducting a long line of research. You can go through many steps in trying to answer a research question, and when you're about to get to a usable result, then the screen gives you no results page. This highlights an important limitation of consensus. The more obscure and technical a question is, the greater chance the consensus will not work. Oh yeah, but and consensus was named well. It does find the consensus opinion on a topic, but this can have a detrimental impact to your research. It forces a user in consensus into a box centered about current best practices and prevailing opinion. This discounts current research and alternative beliefs. Also, prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is difficult for new users. It takes time to learn what to discuss, what questions will produce the best results, and also when searching, there is a path to be taken, and users may find it difficult to track a meaningful path. Uh, the benefits, though, are very large. It cannot be underestimated how quick you can familiarize yourself with a topic using consensus. For example, I looked up how biological networks were studied to see if the same technique could be used on road networks, and within hours I had a grasp of the leading techniques and concepts of biological networks. I was also able to compare them to my current approaches in road networks, and then once you understand you are getting the collective opinion from consensus, this can be very helpful. The results are authoritative as it relies on leading opinion based on the prompt. The authority has a high degree of accuracy and reliability. And then a consensus is an incredibly fast tool. Its user interface is simple and it's very efficient. And the AI behind the search engine is extremely robust and appears to show the best results possible. It is a very effective and efficient research tool. I'll just hand it over to Orla.
So, consensus is an educational tool. As a mature student returning to higher education, I found referencing to be the hardest obstacle. Despite reaching out to peers on campus and additional resources available in the college, I was continuously losing vital marks due to bad referencing. This was resulting in me leaving out harder to reference material, although relevant to my work, until I was introduced to consensus. It has aided in creating a base for my structure of referencing, thus boosting my confidence to engage and continue to improve my referencing skills. Consensus helps students learn proper citation techniques, ensuring credible resources and uses used in their research. Consensus gives the student a wide range of referencing styles from APA to Harvard. John? So there's also user-friendly features, easily accessible, giving the student specific references and filter results by relevance, date, or source types. Seamlessly integrate with word processors and other writing tools to streamline the process of inserting and formatting references. Consensus comes equipped with powerful built-in features that streamline the research process, from seamless integration with writing tools to advanced search and filtering options. Consensus empowers students to find and synthesize information effectively. John? Consensus emphasized features allow students to quickly grasp the core insights and key findings from multiple researchers' papers on a given topic. Consensus then analyzes the content, identifies the most important points, and generates a concise, simplified summary. This empowers students to rapidly understand the research in their field of studies without having to manually review and distill large volume of information. So, consensus. Does creatine improve cognition? Consensus meter suggests that yes, 40% agrees, possibly of 40%, and no, 20%. This simplified feature saves valuable time, enabling students to focus on applying their newfound insights rather than getting bogged down in the research process. Of course, when we're using AI, we have to think about the ethical side of things. So as a student, we need to be transparent about consensus uses, provide accurate citations to maintain academic integrity. We must produce authentic work reflecting your own understanding. And most importantly, we must adhere to academic guidelines and ethical standards while leveraging AI technology. That is our insight for today on consensus. Thank you all for your time and attention today. We've explored a brief insight into the powerful potential of AI-assisted tool to transform how students approach their studies. As we close, I encourage you to consider how these innovations could improve your own studies and projects, unlocking new insights and opportunities. Thank you.
Well done, guys. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. So how long have you been using consensus then, John?
For about 6 months since I started the program with you, and I got access to it. So I
Right.
have, but sadly, I created my literature review for that, so I did a large
Oh.
portion of it. I got there, but I'm going back and like I've had to. I'm dumping parts of it. Like my research has changed. I got there, and it's
Yes.
been extremely helpful. So it has. So I got there.
Yeah. Great.
Especially with that familiarizing yourself with the topic is brilliant.
I think that's the as a quick look, and it has those kind of snapshots of information that are really helpful. And yourself, Orla, this is reasonably new to you as well, I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I was introduced to it through our own program as well, and it has been amazing and aiding just every part of my studies. It's really is a great tool.
Great. That's fantastic. So I didn't introduce myself. Forgive me. My name is Rebecca Roper, and I'm the project lead on this particular endeavor. I'm also the head of teaching and learning in the Dunleary Institute of Art, Design, and Technology, also known as IADT. And it's been my great pleasure to be working with these extraordinary people over the last, 3 months now. So our next tool is Gamma, and that is going to be Anya Cleary is going to take us through that. And thank you again, Orla and John. Well done.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Anya. I am a business student in DKIT, and today I'm going to introduce you to a tool called Gamma. What Gamma does is it's a tool that makes creating interactive and engaging presentations and documents easier and more accessible. It's designed to help anyone create study materials quickly and intuitively. It's a versatile tool. It's great for educators, business professionals, students, and content creators who want to make their content more engaging and accessible. Why Gamma though? We believe that everyone should be able to create educational content and access educational content without barriers, trying to make it accessible for everybody and easy to understand. Gamma's features make it easier to create this content that's visually appealing and easy to understand, which is essential for being able to access the content that is being taught. So I'm going to run a demo of the key features. So these features enhance accessibility and usability. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay. So this is Gamma. So here you can look at templates of other people, and you can look for inspiration for a presentation team, and you can have a look at fonts and stuff like that. But I'm going to run through making a presentation or document with AI. So if you click there, you're able to paste in text. So this is if you have your own notes, or if you have information in a document and you want to turn it into a presentation or flashcards, you can just paste in there. You can create a one-line prompt in a few seconds, or you can import existing files that you have. I found it really great, to be honest. I find it hard with if there's a lot of information on the page. I prefer have visuals and bullet points and stuff like that. So I'm going to run through just generating with a one-line prompt to show you the process. So you can do it in a presentation. You can make it into a website. So this is useful for our students in particular. If they're making our portfolio, you can make it into a website, or you can break it up to flashcards here. So you're able to decide how much cards that you want. They're like flashcards. You can choose the language, and then I'm just going to choose a random one here. So it says here what it's going to put in the presentation, what information is going to be covered, and here you are able to add more cards. You're able to decide how much information you want on each card, which I found really great, because I usually prefer concise paragraphs, but I'm able to expand on it myself. And as well here, this is great because with AI images, there's it generates, you can like give it a prompt and it will generate visuals for your presentation. But here you need to be careful with the web image search, because it might take images that have not that are not under fair use, so it might be copyrighted. But here you're able to specialize what you're looking for. So I'm just going to continue here. So this is the themes. So Gamma offers different layouts. As you can see here, as I click on the different layouts, it changes the text formatting. It automatically adjusts to fit your content. So it makes sure that your presentations always look professional and polished, without needing any advanced design skills. So I'm going to go to a presentation that I generated a while ago. So here you can see that this is AI generated, and I think it's a great format, easy to understand. Um, so as well with Gamma, you're able to collaborate. So it makes it easy to collaborate in real time with others. It's perfect for teams working together on a project, ensuring everyone can contribute easily. You can go in here and you can send it to other people on your workspace. You're able to share it as a link. You're able to export it as a PDF or PowerPoint. As well as this, you can integrate different media types. So I'm just going to create a blank slide here. Um, so right, it's not letting me do that. So yeah, usually you can, there's an option here to add in images, AI images, or from Unsplash or icons, or that you have on your computer. You can also add YouTube videos, but you can only do this if you create a um if you create a PowerPoint from scratch, or if you create a blank card here that finally worked. So you can put in AI images, you say here what you're looking for, and then you can put in the style that you're looking for. But you can also put in images, videos, or from different platforms. So from Figma or Instagram, if this is a presentation introducing yourself to a company, there's different charts that you can put in, and there's different buttons. So you can actually um, put up a calendar, so students are able to schedule meetings with you directly from there. And so Gamma provides a wide range of templates and themes to help you get started. I think it's great because sometimes there's a bit of an information overload in my notes. So I go, and because I understand the topic, I'm able to make my own notes. And I give examples, like my own examples. So I'm not copying my lecturer's notes, but I'm able to put it in Gamma, and it makes me like these really lovely presentations that are easy to understand, easy to read, just formats it very well. So I have used it before for study, because it just presents everything very well. And even if I'm making study notes, I can just share it with other people in my class, and people find it great. So I think Gamma is a great tool that can be used to make education accessible and enjoyable for everyone by providing tools that help create engaging and interactive presentations, whether to share with students and colleagues or to study. So that is the end of my demo. Thank you so much for your time today. And if you've any questions, I can answer them in the end.
That's brilliant. Well done, Anya. I remember when we were looking at this tool with the group, there was some discussion about it's almost too easy, to make a presentation. So, you just give it a title like, the history of Irish theater, press generate, and boom, you've got, it's basic, but you've got a full presentation. So that was one of the things that we found in the first instance, I think, and people were kind of like, I don't know if I could trust myself with that one.
Yeah.
How did you work around that? Because I know you were one of those folks at the beginning.
Well, yeah, it's like anything. It depends on the way you use it, but with academic integrity, it's about like producing your own work and not using like your lecturer's notes are their intellectual property. So it's about like being responsible and knowing the different teams of academic integrity.
Yeah.
So what I did was I developed my own notes. So it was like it was my work being put into it, and it just made it
Yeah.
into like a simple format. It made it like it was really easy. I just printed off um I printed off the presentation, and I was able to like cut them into little flashcards. So
Right.
it's about putting your own work in. The AI generated one was just an example, but
Yeah.
it can be good for idea generation as well. If you need to do a presentation in class, you can just get like a random idea and you can work from there. But it's really up to the individual to moderate how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great tool. That's a paid tool that we have access to. And there is a free version of Gamma, and there's also a free version of Consensus. We are very fortunate in that the NTUTOR is funding this project. And as part of that funding, the champions are being paid a small amount. And also the the tools that we have access to, we have a paid version of Consensus, and then we also have a paid version of Gamma. And the next tool that we're going to be discussing, and again, thank you very much, Anya. It's great. And the other thing I just want to mention, because I know a lot of people, like my design skills, I know, you can use templates on PowerPoint and that kind of thing, and those really help. And you've got Designer, which is another kind of AI feature of in Microsoft Word. But I think it's always really nice to have, as you were saying, everything just looks clean. You've got, your sans serif fonts. You can really make sure that it's accessible for everybody. So our next group is going to be talking about the big kahuna, as we say, which I guess is ChatGPT. And we started out with the free version. We recently acquired the paid version, and then of course ChatGPT 4.0 is also out as well. So, or I call it 4.oo because I like the little oo. But Sakura always gives me a bad time. She's one of our champions who is very knowledgeable in the ways, as are many of these guys, in the ways of computers and AI. So let's see, we've got Matthew, and who else is on that team?
Me too.
Great, Patrick.
Yeah,
And who else is there? Somebody, I'm missing somebody there.
there was Hannah and Sophie, but I think Hannah's sick.
Oh,
I
Hannah
don't think
Insick. Yeah,
Sophie's
yeah.
mic is working.
Oh, okay.
Her mic is like now working, I think.
I don't see Soph, but you want to pop something in the chat there, Sophie, if you're here. Oh, it stands for Omni, apparently. Thank you. Yes, there is a free version of Consensus. Brilliant. Okay. Well, maybe somebody else can share. I think Sophie was going to look at images with Dolly 3. So I don't know if anyone else wants to share that instead, or we'll just go with this team and you guys are ready to go. Enjoy.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll go through a personal tutor first, and then I'll, hand it over to Matthew. So I'll present.
You're going to introduce yourself first, though, aren't you, Patrick? Tell us all about you.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that.
my name's Patrick Crowley, and I'm attending MTU at the moment, kind of studying construction. And it's like try and share this. Hopefully you can see if it works. One sec. This is really awkward. I have two screens. I should probably plug one out. Hopefully this works. Okay, so my name is Patrick Crowley, and I'm going to go through a personal tutor, how to use it and kind of how you can use it for assignments. So I'll just go through it quick. So ChatGPT personal tutor. So the first thing you should do is open ChatGPT, online. Then you click like your personal profile, and then you can kind of customize it to make it into a personal tutor to use for assignments or anything you really want to. So first thing, as I said, open, ChatGPT, click on your account profile on the top right. can move you over. Just over here, you know, and then you click that. And then you can see your account name, you know, say your personal account or IADT account. And once you get into this, you can more or less, you know, click customize ChatGPT to get your personal tutor, and you can click, or you can make any kind of, you know, response that you want to personalize it to your needs. And for what I did, you know, I put this, you know, response, you know, you have been employed by an international company who are looking to begin an operation in Ireland. They have asked you to carry out a detailed analysis outlining the procedural framework of the tendering and bidding process within a contractor's establishment when the decision is made to proceed in tendering or bidding for a project. So I basically did that for one of my measurement and tendering assignments, just so I could have a, you know, good outline for headings, just to organize myself. And once I organized myself, then I could ask any question like, you know, what is a tendering process? Then ChatGPT then could outline, you know, any tendering process that I wanted, you know, such as, you know, it just outlines it really quick and gives you a few examples then of what's needed for the tendering process to happen. You know, it's kind of like to do with a quantity surveyor. They need to bid and do tendering for a project, you know, at the start of a project, just to kind of make cost kind of analysis and see how much, you know, it would cost for the materials, and how, you know, how they would outline how to bid, and, you know, see how expensive a project would be. And 1 sec, try and escape from that. 1 second. Oh, my Word document just went missing. I'll just give you a quick kind of view of my assignment, you know, what I did do. Hopefully this is it. Oh, that's a blank one. Wait, it's there, I think. God, too much tabs open.
That's
And drag it
welcome to my world, Patrick. I'm the queen of the tabs.
Oh, it's so awkward now. There's everything in the way. Try and move. It's right at the top. If I can move this over, maybe. Finally. And then, okay, then you can see then from the tendering process, then I could outline, you know, how it happens. Like, tendering is a process by which an organization who's, you know, in need of goods, services invites other parties to submit a proposal or bid to provide these goods or services. You know, you can see kind of how, like, I think ChatGPT is more of an aid than, like, you don't really copy and paste everything in. You can't do that. That's kind of plagiarism. But if you can kind of get key information from ChatGPT and use it for ideas, you can clearly outline, you know, your assignment, and it kind of makes it easier to form, you know, ideas for your assignment. Then, you know, makes it a good layout, and that's really how I'd kind of use it then as an aid. And as you could see with Anya and stuff, you can use it for PowerPoints. Well, she used the consensus, was it, I think, or whatever, you know, but you can use ChatGPT for images and other things. So I do find it's kind of handy. And that's more or less it then, you know. So I guess I'll hand you over to Matthew.
Thank you.
1 sec, I'll try and...
So I'll be talking about ChatGPT, but more in the image generation sense. So let me share my screen quickly. There it is. Perfect. So you should all be able to see that. So with ChatGPT, I'm using the 4U version, and it's quite interesting trying to see how it can come up with images, because in my line of work, I'm an MTU student, in third year who's studying animation, motion graphics, and special effects. So a lot of my time is coming up with like character concepts or 2D models or 3D models. And with ChatGPT, DALL-E, Copilot, and a few others, that's helped me save a good amount of time. So if I just quickly ask it, say, can you create a reference sheet for a bus driver semi-realistic style as one of the characters that I'm going to be animating in the future? Let's just see what it comes up with. And this is without any prompt engineering or anything like this. So usually what we'd do is it would come up with an image, and then if we didn't like it, okay, it gave me a bus. To be fair, no, I asked for a bus. Okay.
I was just gonna say, I think you asked for a bus. Yeah, do the driver in there. There you go.
Bus driver. So it will regenerate that image. But you can see, even though by that small example, it did give me a reference sheet about a bus from all different angles and different ideas of, you know, here are the parts. So again, it's given me the bus, and it's given me now this character in sort of the back, two versions of the side, and then the character's face, which I find quite interesting because I've used it for character concepts. When I was coming up with a character I was working on, I threw together my own concepts I found on the internet for sort of likely ideas I wanted the character to look like. And then just for the crack, I decided, oh, it's ChatGPT, you know, if I give it the character and say like another color palette, what would it come up with? So it gave me these kind of things as well. And then I used it as well for my own 3D models, where I asked it, I'm working on a Victorian kind of 3D model. So a bunch of street lights, houses, roads, all that kind of stuff. And for that, I was kind of stuck on what to do. So I generally asked it, can you create a blueprint for a Victorian housing estate 3D or 3D model, and it gave me a few answers, whether it be just individual houses or how different houses can come together to create a wider kind of area. But it's been really useful. There you go. So you can see now how you can sort of put all the houses together. You've got all the individual roads, the hedges, you know, all the fences and everything. So that's a really useful concept design. And then an artist can use that concept design and think, okay, well, I like this house. I don't like where this house is positioned, so I get rid of this, or I could make this house go over here and various other things, or change the rotation of the houses and stuff. But you can see how it can help a lot with various things, and it's helped me cut down on a lot of time. Generally, it would take me maybe 2 to 3 weeks to come up with all my concept designs and start fleshing out the kind of concept for the character and finalizing all that. But now with ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Copilot, it's helped me cut that down to about 3 to 4 days, which has made me a lot more efficient within working, creating all these characters, 3D models, or whatever I need to do. So it's really good. And through what Rebecca was saying, we did prompt engineering. So if I like this image, I could put in another few lines saying, you know, could you maybe make the houses certain colors and stuff? But that would take a decent amount of time, and I think we're probably over time. But that's been it's been our little presentation on ChatGPT. I hope you can sort of appreciate how it can be used in just general academics for what Patrick's doing, and then the more artistic side of what I'm doing. So thank you very much.
That's brilliant, both of you. Well done. There's lots of stuff going on in the chat you guys might want to tune into, and we'll address those questions. One of the things I wanted to say though is we started off with the free version, and the demo that Patrick was doing. You can do that on the free version. You don't have to have a paid version. I know 4.0 is free at the moment, but it's kind of interesting that what I really wanted, and NTUTOR made this happen, is we have a team. We have a team subscription, which means that the inputs the students are putting in are not being used to train the LLM. Okay, because as you all know, with the free versions of all of these tools, anything that's put in obviously is being used to train the machine, so to speak, so that it becomes more and more adroit at being able to serve its uses. So I just thought that was kind of a nice feature that the team subscription, which I think is $25 per month, allows for that feature is turned off, so that their data on that particular platform is safe. But there's a lot you can do with the free version. You don't have to have the paid version. The paid version is, but 4.0 is free. I'll let Sakura kind of help me with that. That's free now, and that has actually the paperclip, on it, which is kind of nice. And that means that you can upload. So, for example, if there's a rubric, right, that your lecturer has given you, you can upload that rubric and submit your draft work, and have ChatGPT work as a feedback coach for you to say, okay, where do I need to improve on this? What's working based on this rubric, based on, so there's quite a lot that you can do with it. It's moving more and more towards what Bloom's idea of the personalized tutor. So we're over to Descript, which is a new one for me that Sakura brought into us to do some work with. So I will hand you over to her, and thank you again, Patrick and Matthew. That was fantastic. All right, I'll turn myself off.
Alrighty. Thank you. I hope to be able to cover as much as possible in the time remaining. My name is Sakura. I am an animation, 2D and 3D animation student at DKIT. So my course covered a lot of what it covered was also post-production, which is like video editing and things like that. I also have ADHD, which I think you'll find relevant in what I will be presenting, because the thing about Descript, it's useful for two things mainly. One, if you, for example, have like you go to a lecture or something like that, and you record the lecture, but you don't want to listen back to the lecture. You want the notes written down, right? We already saw ChatGPT. It's really good. So you could, get the transcript of that and put it in ChatGPT, give me a summary or the most important things. But how do you get a transcript? And a really good way is Descript. So here really you'd go to new, you'd go to audio project, and then when you do the audio, you import the audio and it'll track what it said. So for example, here I also do, whoopsie daisies, I also do YouTube videos, and this is something that this is from my latest YouTube video. I made a recording of like the voiceover, but there was a lot of ums and a lot of ahs and things like that. And so I ended up having to, delete those. And as you can see, there's the learning area. And here I can actually demonstrate how it is. there is like a quick video with it and everything, but I'll just do the demonstrations myself. So here I think yeah. So here it's transcribing. So what I did here was, it had the file, and which is like a video, put the video in here, and it is now transcribing what is said in the video. And now it's 100%, so it should pop up any minute now. There we go. So as you can see, there's an here, there's an here. So if you just right click and remove filter words, it'll highlight all the filter words that are there, and you can then delete, remove all. There we go. And that's what I did with my one. And then from here, you have a pretty good transcript as it is. And you can just take this, and that's your transcript. If you want to use it a little bit more for editing purposes, like myself, you can use it as a pretty much a video editing software. Now, there is a free version, and there's, like other paid versions as well. In the free version, you do get a watermark. You get one watermark free export up per month, and then one transcription per hour every month. So mostly you'd be using it for audio, and like the odd video here and there. But if you want to really video edit a lot, you'd have to, pay a little bit. But to be honest, like $12, it's like what, 10, 11 euros, which is pretty good in my opinion. And I am planning on upgrading for that as well. So yeah, if you can use it for editing purposes as well. So there's filler words removal, which is pretty much it's what I showed you here. Actually, that one was for the transcription. There is eye contact as well, which is quite good, especially for someone like me who's autistic, and I just don't look in the eye, and therefore I also don't look at the camera. It just feels like it's the same. I do look at the camera more than I do people, but it's still difficult. And this one can track your eye movement, and then you can, change it to that. So let me see. It tells you, oh yeah, it's an effect. So you go here, effects, eye contact. So I think it's loading now, or is it done? Hold on, let me see. Oh, it's frozen. Lovely. Technology, yay. We love it and we hate it. Okay, so as you can see, she's really not looking at the camera at the moment. And you know what? It's not letting me click on it, so we're just going to move on. Just take my word for it. You can change the eye movement, and you can make it look like you're looking at the camera. So it is said that videos are, and just people in general, they're more receptive to listening to you if you make eye contact. But if you're like me and you find it hard, then this is for you. This is good. Then there's studio sound, which is also really good. You can hear the way my microphone is at the moment. You can hear a little bit of a buzzing sound in the back. You can hear my breathing quite a lot, and this really just removes it altogether. But I do feel like this shows a really good example, but for some reason it's not showing. Maybe it's because I'm sharing my screen or something. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, and it really does clean up the audio quite a lot. So if you're like me, where you get confused quite a lot with like numbers and gauges or gauges, and everything is just a little bit too overwhelming, this makes it quite like a lot easier, because it's just here. Again, I think it's in audio. Yeah, you select everything, you go into audio effects, and you just turn on studio sound, and you can pretty much change the intensity as well, whether you want it like really strong, and like it'll clean it up a lot. I don't know if you can hear it. Ah, hold on. I think I need to share with the sound, so just give me a moment. Could you hear it?
No,
Or
no, we
yeah,
couldn't
no, I
hear it.
thought so. New share sound. Okay, now you should be able to hear it. So I'll do without. So without audio sound.
We can't hear it still, though.
Still can't hear it?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's just say audio is very bad. And then you turn it on and audio very good. That's basically how it goes.
Great.
Then we've got captions, which is really I actually love this one. And I think the caption also, it's not. Okay, great. So the caption is not capped. I thought it may have been, but it's not, thankfully. So as long as you stay within your transcription an hour, you can always add really good captions to your video. And I find it really helpful. Like it makes stuff pop. It's like really well done. I already use another one for that, but since I found this, I was like, okay, I can pretty much do everything on the one software. So sorry, my cat is destroying the house. So yeah, it's really good. Captions really good. It'll show you the active words. It'll show you, I think it can show you the future words as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
This seems like a really good tool for an all-around
Yeah.
video editing, and also you can utilize it to clean up your own work before you play it back, which is kind of nice, because I think sometimes that with Synthesia as well, I kind of like the idea of having an avatar for people who have social anxiety and having to do presentations. This is another tool that you can refine your presentation before you're even there. That's brilliant. I'm
Yeah,
very
it
aware
also,
of the time,
yeah,
unfortunately.
same.
I'm just wondering if we can, I think there's some questions, Erica, if there are, but Sakura, thank you so much. This one does look interesting. I haven't played with this one yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's perfect. If I may fit in one last thing, it also allows for intonation correction. So if you've if you've cut something out and it doesn't sound correct, where you're speaking in one tone and then another, then this will fix it with Regenerate. And that is
wow.
the presentation. There's also remote recording. But that's a little bit more for whoever wants to do podcasts and stuff like that. So it's not exactly student related. So I decided to leave that out. But there's that as well. You can go to Descript and click on Learn Descript with a free account, and you can check the tutorials yourself if you are interested. Thank you for
Fantastic.
listening.
Thank you. Well done. Well done to all champions. Well done. So, Erica, back to you. I think there may be some questions for the champions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sakura and Rebecca, and all of our GenAI champions. Like you said, it's so nice to have kind of the practical tips and how do these work and what are they and what do we do next kind of thing. So it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. I know there have been a lot of questions in the chat that have kind of been answered already. But does anyone have any question? Would anyone like to raise their hand or unmute themselves to ask one of the champions a question? Anything specific? I know there's been a lot of action in the chat, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, looks like you guys went down a storm. Well done.
Sorry, can I just ask a question? In relation to all the students, do you find that your lecturers have embraced GPT rather than try to fight it?
Yes, I've permission to use ChatGPT.
Yeah. So they
And I
are
haven't had any negative or positive. They know that this is the way forward, but yeah, they haven't really addressed it as much.
And have they created policies and guidelines for you to adhere to in terms of keeping academic integrity?
Yeah, so we've been working on our own ethics statements, and I think a lot of it is on your own knowledge. Like you're in third level college for a reason. You're not going to be going against the guidelines and policies of the college. Yeah.
Okay, that's great, Orla, particularly in relation to the nursing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of research out there, so yeah, there's a lot of ways it could be misinterpreted, but anybody that I know that uses the AI in their studies, it's all been as more of an aid rather than copy and paste. It would never get through the Turnitin links or anything if you were to use it in that way. So there is cautions set out by every college. But
so
yeah.
in nursing, do you find they give you more case studies and scenarios to address rather than specific?
So for myself, on using all the things that we've learned, so it helps so much with my assignments because there's so much research and research is evolving every single day. There's a new article out. Where I was getting 20 research papers on, let's just say, wound assessments.
Yeah.
I was then able to take the 20 research papers, take all the PDFs that the tutors had given me, and then I was able to condense it using ChatGPT, but then I also ran it through Gamma to put it in an easier template for me to visualize it.
Okay.
And then I still put it into my own language then to create flashcards that I could use then to study using keywords to bring into the exams. So there's still a lot of work that goes in behind what we're doing, but it's just so that it tailors it to how I learn. So
okay. It's an assistive devices, really, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds fantastic. Well done to you all. Fantastic presentation, champions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. Might just ask if there's any last questions as we wrap up the day. I'm not sure there's any more coming. Oh, probably
well,
not.
Thank you so much for inviting us, Erica, and thanks to all at AD for a great 3 days. It's been absolutely, I've been able to dip in and out a few times, and just great learning across the entire event. So well done, well done.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. And just kind of echo that to the rest of the AHEAD team that's kind of working in the background. So Danielle, I don't know if you want to pop up for a final goodbye. Hi, Danielle. Thanks so much for organizing the event. I think it's been a great, wonderful 3 days. I think we've all gained so much from it.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. For those of you who don't know, this is our third time running Gather overall and our second time in partnership with the lovely people at Aintus and Nala. So it's been a great time for us. Obviously, it's more of a casual vibe. It's a little bit nice, a little bit kind of a more chill session, and we do really appreciate all of our presenters over the last 3 days. I mean, I think there's been over 30, I think, if we start counting, all volunteering their time to come and speak to us and demonstrate different technologies and share their knowledge with us. So it's really been such a great event. We will have all the recordings available once we do get them captioned and get the captions kind of fixed up. So that could take a little while, so do keep an eye out for that. We will email everyone who was registered. Yeah, so I don't know, what was your kind of favorite part of the event, Erica?
Oh, don't make me do that. It's hard to choose. It was all so good. Like I said, I think the combination of different types of things really helped. For one, it helps keep my attention. Like having one person telling me practical tips, and then learning about a huge altitude charter, and then switching it up from day to day and from event to event really helps kind of get a bigger picture of what's going on as well. So I couldn't just choose one. I think it was all great. I really enjoyed the Dyslexia Ireland presentation this morning and kind of like what's being done in that front as well. Just, yeah, if I had to choose one, I don't want to, but that's one that pops out of my mind. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, same. I'm like, how do I even choose? I mean, today I really enjoyed the panel discussion with the experts we had. It was very nice kind of getting all that different perspective and getting everyone in to talk. I mean, we've had so many sessions. I'm like trying to even think back to Monday. What were we even
Yeah.
doing then?
Feels like so long ago.
That's it. But yeah, so yeah, recordings will be made available. I can see that in the chat there. Made available on our website, and we will be emailing it to people. They'll be available on our YouTube, and they will, yeah, you can watch them then. It'll be maybe give another week or so, just to make sure we get all the captions correct.
Yeah, and just a huge final thank you to all of our presenters, to our funders through Solus, and to our participants, and to everyone that came to watch during the last few days. So huge thank you. And our captioner, can't forget, who's been busy working in the background as well. So huge thank you to everyone involved. And thank you to you too, Danielle.
Thank you. And thank you to you, Erica, for being our MC.
No
Everyone,
problem.
thanks.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks, everyone. And we hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, we'll see you again.
We'll be running it again next year as well too.
There
So
you go.
keep an eye out for Gather 2025. And meanwhile, you can always reach us at the Ahead website. You can find contact information for all of us if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know further. So thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Goodbye.
you very much. Thank you, champions. Bye-bye.
Thank you.